Hi guys, welcome back to Fit Life SD TV, where today we're going to be going over a few training tips to improve your face pull. Specifically 3 things that we can do that you might not be doing, and we're also going to go over a few things that you might be doing that's sabotaging your efforts. So with the face pull, a lot of times the reason why we'll do it is because we want to target the rear delts. It's something that's really hard to get, and some people don't get that development. Sometimes they'll blame it on genetics, but sometimes they're just not executing the movement quite the way that they should. First thing we want to look at is the position in which you're holding it and understanding what the movement is designed for. Now, what we're trying to do is target the rear delt, something where a lot of people have a hard time developing. If you understand how that muscle is supposed to work, it's actually supposed to help move your arm up, okay? So even though it's called a face pull, a lot of people are actually pulling into their face. You really should be trying to come up at a 90-degree angle to really engage that rear delt. But the problem that I see most people doing in the gym is using a single rope, which doesn't give you the length. It's hard to really come up at a 90-degree angle because you're gonna really quickly run out of space. So what I like to do in a situation like this, I like to get a different kind of contraption going. 2 long handles. So you got a lot more freedom to have a better anatomical movement to engage that muscle. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come out, you're gonna get a much wider angle. You wanna come up to your ears, make a 90-degree angle, come up to your ears. Getting a little bit wider, you're actually moving the muscle and engaging it in a pattern that it's meant to, and therefore you get a little bit more activation. So the first thing you can do, widen the angle. If you don't have access to something like this, sometimes what you can do, you can just grab another rope and double up. We don't always know what we're gonna work out, what our gyms have. So what you can do is instead of trying to pull with just 1 rope, you can get 2, you can do something similar. So now, as I pull, I got a lot more freedom to create that anatomical movement that's gonna get you the proper rear delt activation, okay? Number 2, second thing that you can do to improve your rear delt activation is not work with a weight so heavy that your trapezius has to engage to overcome. Okay, your trapezius, your traps, your center muscle in the back, it's very strong when you load it. We want to get that out of the equation, so what you want to do is have a weight that's so light that you can roll your shoulders forward. A lot of exercises are gonna stipulate that you retract your scapula. This is one where you're gonna benefit more from without doing that. So you wanna have your shoulders rolled forward and try to keep them forward as you come back so that the trapezius isn't engaging, okay? Again, if it's too heavy, or you feel like you have to retract your scapula just to get it back, you could be bypassing your rear delts, to some degree, if not altogether, and you don't want to be stuck where you're trying to work on a certain muscle group for years and wonder why you're not getting it. All right, guys, and then there's one more variation. It doesn't happen to be my favorite, but it is good to kind of mix it up a little bit as long as we're hitting the muscle correctly. And one thing you can do is just with the cable crossover station that's available in just about any commercial gym, you just grab it without a handle, you can kind of cross them over but from behind. What you're gonna do is remembering the same principles we pointed out, not loading it so heavy that you have to engage the center of your back, but you want to roll your shoulders forward, keep it light enough without one muscle can do most of the work, and you just do a similar motion. What you're going to gain with this is instead of just one handle being split, you can actually gain a little bit more control on each side, almost like you're going to have a little bit more mental isolation for the muscle. So if this kind of helps you to engage it, then it could be a really good way to kind of get past a plateau that might be keeping you from engaging that muscle in the first place. So again, just a normal cable crossover type thing, but reverse with the same 90-degree angle we're trying to hit, and you should be able to feel it really target and engage that muscle really good. So that's part of building 3D delts, like they say. So you have to have all the heads hit properly. So again, the biggest things that I see people doing wrong is not having enough range of motion, not actually coming out to a 90-degree angle, and then having so much weight that they're overly engaging the rest of the back, okay? So we gotta get the trapezius out because it's a big muscle, it's a big mover. You can get that guy out by rolling the shoulders forward, keeping it light, and you're gonna feel a difference, and you wouldn't be surprised if that muscle, if you've been neglecting to do it right for a long time, what you might notice is it's gonna be very sore the next day with very minimal effort. So, all right guys, so just a quick rundown on what we covered, things to kind of build on to improve is let's not go so heavy that we're overly engaging the trapezius. It's a large muscle, it's a large mover, and you gotta remember your rear delt is a very small muscle. It's actually the smallest muscle in the shoulder. So sometimes we have to do lighter movements with a different range of motion just to target those. And if you do it correctly, you'll probably feel like you've never worked that muscle before. So let's get the trapezius out. Let's increase our range of motion by either using 2 ropes or a wider grip. And if it helps you to use a cable crossover to kind of get a different activation, that's good to do too. So this is Fit Life SD TV, where we're gonna bring you the latest in nutrition, supplements, and workout tips. So if you have any questions, just feel free to send a message to us. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't, and we'll get more to you soon.